Hey, what's up, you guys? It's the Counterculture Media, and we are together, and we're about to give you some great advice on marriage. As you can see, we had part one. It was just me and TK virtually, but we had to get together and include the beautiful wives in this episode. And this is a part two. Like I said, we're going to dig deep into marriage and what a Christ-centered marriage should look like, okay? Because we're learning. We're going through it right now. This is my wife, Carly.
Hi.
Right?
This is my wife, Kennedy.
Hello.
And Jay and TK, we are so excited to be together, really. We miss you guys. We actually had a double date a few weeks ago, and we were like, man, we got to come down to y'all, because y'all are in the DFW area.
Yeah.
And so we're like, man, we got to go see what they're up to, see how they're living. It's a beautiful place, by the way.
Ah, thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful city. So we're just excited to see you guys.
Oh, yeah, man. This is a pretty powerful moment here. We did that first video, but in order to complete what we were trying to do here, this was a necessary video because we got to have our other halves in the mix. And so in this video, we get to hear a more powerful perspective from the women in the relationship. You know, the Proverbs 31. You know, they're worthy of praise. A virtuous woman is worthy of praise. And so what they will have to offer to this series will be amazing. And I'm excited to get this conversation started.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Alrighty. Well, the format is we got to ask some questions, okay? We're going to have a conversation. That's what these counterculture convos are all about. And so we have some questions in the vault. We're going to pick them randomly and kind of be on the spot. You're going to hear our actual, honest answers. So this is going to be really cool. So let's get it started with the very first question. Okay, actually, ladies, y'all pick it.
I'll let you go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's see. First question.
All right. What's been a hard adjustment in marriage, if any?
Okay, so a little bit quick preface here. Okay, so me and Carly, we got married in 2020. Go check out the part one. Okay, and because me and TK, we talk about the details and about when we're married. But we've been married since 2020, so 2 years in. And they just got married this year, actually, a few months ago.
Yeah, just got married in March.
Yeah, March 2022. So all of these questions are answered from two kind of similar perspectives because we're all around the same age, but it's also different seasons, like we talked about, different seasons.
Yeah,
so each question, just try to notice the differences or the similarities between 2 years versus a few months, right?
Right.
So, all right, the biggest adjustment. What's been a hard adjustment? Okay. You want to start?
Yeah, for me, I'd say it was definitely my control. Letting go of control and letting Jaden take over in certain situations that I definitely would want to have my hands, all over. And whether it's loading the dishwasher or, parking the car in the driveway, little things that I feel like I could add a critique to, that I've just had to step back and realize that, that's not my part anymore. I'm not independent, I have to be able to let go of that. So I think control has been a hard adjustment for me.
You want to go?
I'll share. I feel like the hardest part for me has been just sharing my emotions whenever I get upset or I'm frustrated. Just talking about those emotions, that's been the hardest part for me.
That's a good one.
Just before marriage, it was kind of already a struggle, so carrying that into marriage, that was kind of something that was hard that I'm still learning today. So that's probably the biggest thing for me.
That's a good one.
Yeah, for sure.
Gentlemen?
Yeah, so piggybacking off of what you said, Car, we're talking about a Christ-centered marriage here, and the way that the world talks about marriage, it's way different.
Right.
If we're going to honor Christ, the way that my Bible says, that the man is the head. There's also roles to that, and it's a representation because Christ is the head of the church. And it's really deep and really powerful. And so if we're really going to honor that, just like Harley said, that's hard on the woman to go into a biblical marriage and say, oh man, what does it mean? How is the man the head? And that can go in good ways and bad ways. Like you can see some abuse there if you do that the wrong way. But if you do it the right way, I mean, it's all about what did we talk about? Swallowing your pride and things like that. But that goes both ways. So a hard adjustment for me is actually standing up and being that man, because I'm very submissive or very passive I kind of like to let other people make decisions, and that's about all of mine. But so as being the man and the husband and having to make a decision in certain situations, that's really hard. It was a hard adjustment.
Still kind of
and it's definitely it's a grind every single decision I'm making, but we're growing. But at first it is a hard adjustment. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. The grinding, you know, when you're in that situation where you pray to God, like, help me, you know, let go of that control, then he gives you that opportunity and you're like, oh dang, this doesn't feel good.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but that's where growth happens.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
That's right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think one of the biggest things and one of the most powerful things as well for me was just getting used to moving with your second half and you know, not adjusting from, you know, making decisions just for yourself and making moves for yourself and then adjusting to, like, hey, I have to consider what Kennedy thinks. I have to consider what's best for her. I like that you said that you know, we gotta love our wives like Christ loved the church.
Yeah.
And that entails a lot of different things. Like, if you think about our relationship with Christ and what he does for us and how everything he did was for us. You know what I'm saying? That's how we have to move as men as well, especially in a Christ-centered relationship. So it's adjusting to that hierarchy of submission. Yes, the wives have to submit to the husband, but the husband has to submit to Christ. So just as Christ loves the church, we have to model that and be sure that we move in a particular way that, you know, that adds value to our significant other. So I think that's kind of been the biggest adjustment. Being conscientious of every decision I make. Does this just benefit me, or does it also add value to my wife as well?
Yeah, for sure, man. That's awesome. That's great. All right. Well, hey, next question. Is it? Yeah, Kennedy, jump in.
You can pick orange or just a random one.
Okay, I'll do this one. Okay, so the question says best way to make up after a fight.
Okay, next question.
When two married people love each other.
Yes.
You know, actually, this would be a good time to talk about the elephant in the room, which is sex. Sex is great, guys. Sex is great, especially in the setting of marriage. It's very different.
Yeah, sinless
sex. Sinless
Absolutely.
sex, guilt-free sex. Very different. Very intimate. I love it. So I would say that's the best way we make up after a fight for us personally. But it's deeper than just the physical. That's the difference right there. It's deeper than just physical pleasure.
Right.
It's really an act of intimacy, and you really feel a deeper connection when we're engaged.
There's that vulnerability. You know, you're completely vulnerable.
Exactly. So it's a lot. It's very different from having sex outside of marriage. And so when we say oh, we just make up sex, it's not we're not looking at it from a worldly perspective, but from a spiritual perspective.
No,
Well, because if you have a conflict or a disagreement, argument, and you just you think that makeup sex is the solution, you didn't solve anything.
Right.
You really didn't solve that problem.
Right.
It's still
So
there.
it's still some things. So there's more work that you got to do.
Yeah.
Right.
However, that is part of it. You know, being vulnerable and open to each other and things like that.
Yeah.
I think
So-
I think a big part for me, besides, you know, the sex, after an argument is stepping back and kind of being objective, subjective. What's that like from the outside?
Yeah.
Objective.
Yeah. Where I think about it, you know, it really goes back to pride. It goes back to pride. This world really focuses on being right, being the dominant one, being like you're never wrong. And so when you reflect back on yourself during that argument about what you said or what you should have said, and that's really, I think, one of the steps I try to take when resolving or after a fight. I try to think back about what I said and what should be said.
Yeah, and I love that you said that, and I think a part of that is really knowing when to step back from a conversation, and then when to engage the conversation. Like, okay, we need to talk about this now, or you know, let's let our feelings settle a little bit and come back to that conversation. Because I know sometimes I'm not hearing her, she's not hearing me. So it will make no sense to continue that conversation and just get more frustrated. Yeah. And so, you know, we may just have to be mad at each other for a little bit. We may have to sit awkwardly in the car, you know, for a little while, and, you know, turn up the music. You know, that may happen from time to time, but
it's like not
just having that. We still have to do our due diligence in having that consideration for what our partner was trying to bring to the convo. What they were trying to express. And so I think that's an important I love her smile. I think that's an important aspect of conflict resolution, is to, like you said, just swallow your pride, and this is your other half, and it's not you versus your partner. It should never be that way. It's y'all versus the problem.
Right.
So,
I think something that's important that I just thought about is making sure that even if it was a fight or an argument, making sure it was productive.
Yes.
What did you learn? Did you resolve the issue? If it wasn't resolved, what did you maybe learn about yourself in that situation or your partner? What can you do better next time? So as long as you make sure it's productive in the sense that you've learned something or something, you're taking the next step going towards resolution. You know, like
that's good.
Yes, and putting all those steps together, at the pinnacle of all that, guys, you then have your makeup sex.
That's when you know.
The completion.
That's awesome. Okay. All right, next question. I'm going to pick this one.
Glory days.
Okay. Best part of being married. The best part of being married.
You know, I'm sorry, I don't mean to start just, you know, butting in,
Throw
but
it in.
Yesterday I was talking to Jaden. We were both just sitting on the couch, and I was thinking about talking to him about the weather, and then I was thinking how cool it was that I get to have my best friend with me all the time to just talk about simple things like the weather.
Yeah.
You know, like
just being aware of the little blessings that everyone overlooks from time to time. That's awesome.
Yes. You always have your companion with you, whether they're present, but, you know, they're at work or on a business trip, whatever. You know, you always have your person there to talk about the weather.
What Carly did, and I want to add to that, what Carly did great is she actually verbally told me. She verbally told me that she felt that way, and so she could have kept that to herself and just stared at me, looking at me the whole time. I'm doing whatever I'm doing. You know, I don't know. But she actually took the time to tell me that, and I do appreciate words of affirmation, and we'll probably talk more about that. But that really let me know that she actually thinks about me, and in that moment she was thinking about me. So that's actually some good advice, I think, for sure. Jump in.
No, I was gonna say, just piggybacking off of what you said, it's like we feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because like I'm really bad with like I feel like I have like separation anxiety. You know what I mean? Just because like, and I hate to like even like admit to this, but like I get really sad whenever he leaves. Or he's like, I'm gonna go hang out with some friends, and I'm like, oh, okay, like without me, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's like a problem that I have. But like really, I get like super sad. Like the other day, he was like doing something with his car. He was getting his like car fixed or something like that, and he was like, "Babe, are you okay?" And I was like, I'm fine." You know what I mean? Like, but like I get like sad. I don't know why, but it's a problem. But you know, yes, I agree.
Yeah,
with what you said. Like, I agree. You know what I mean? With what you said.
I think that's kind of funny. That was definitely how I felt right at the beginning of us being married. You know, like if he did choose to go hang out with his friends without me, I was like,
what am I supposed to do?
You know, like, where can I sit in the back? Like, come on. But
I guess lettuce is cool.
Like, I guess I'm not going to eat for the rest of the day. Just be depressed. No, like, and then yesterday he just got home, and then he's like, "Hey, babe, can I go watch that football game?" And I was like, "I don't care. Yeah, sure, do what you want." You know, I've definitely learned that.
Yeah.
They've got to have their freedom. Yeah. I guess we can, you know, separate from the hip every now and then. But anything to add?
I'll go ahead and kick the men off. I think what was the question? What the best part
of being married?
It's just, oh man, I think it's awesome having that person, because, you know, as a man, you know, you can be prideful and like you want to do everything well. You want to be a man. You know, you want to make sure everything is taken care of. You always want to be strong. You know, the things just come with being a man, but finding comfort in having that person that's going to love you unconditionally, you know, regardless of whether you mess up or regardless of whether you maybe didn't hit the goal you wanted to hit. You know that they love you unconditionally, and you can be vulnerable. And I think that's been the most rewarding part for me personally. It's just knowing I have that person I can come home to, and I can express if I'm struggling, I can express my struggles, because I've never really been good at that. Never really done that before. I can express my struggles, or I can admit to my thoughts, or hey, I don't think I can hit this goal. But knowing that she's gonna love me regardless and look at me in the highest regard, that's pretty amazing thing to have.
Yeah, and dude, the praise, advice, and just the encouragement from a wife when you are feeling really down or really stressed about something is so powerful. Men, please, you know, listen to your wife when they give you any sort of encouragement, because it just if you listen to the world or listen to your bros or I mean, you know, assuming, like you said, men, no, they want you to be a man. Don't show that side. I cry like a baby in front of Carly, like especially when I'm tired. But but I break down in front of Carly. She's there for me to hold me and help me through it. We're just crying. But no, that's such a great part of being married, man. Because and just trusting that she's not gonna call you a crybaby later on. She might. I don't know. If she. They might use it like, you know. Yeah.
But you know, it's out of a genuine,
like,
because
we see you know your like I guess darkest moments or hardest moments, and we're there for you too. So that's a beautiful thing in marriage for sure.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, TK.
You're up.
All right.
You know, I want to pick one of the
Look at you.
less serious.
Let's see.
Okay. Dream vacation. You guys go first.
Dream vacation.
Wait, throwing it back in the wall.
Do it again.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again. Replay. Dream vacation. Mine will be quick. Dream vacation. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna make this a long video. I just said I'm gonna be quick, and then now I'm gonna sit back and think about it. No, I'm basic. I am so basic. I'm okay with doing nothing. But maybe that is a vacation. Maybe that is doing.
We're gonna cut that.
How about you?
We're gonna cut that.
And just because you said that, we're gonna keep it. Go. You go.
Definitely wherever I can go for free. This is all like theoretical dreamland, right? Because we're dreaming vacation free. I'd like to go to a clean beach where it's crystal clear water, you know, safe, no alligators or something, I don't know, sharks, barracudas, anything like that, and where someone's just like catering to me the whole time, and you don't have to worry about money, you don't have to worry about time, you're just there. So maybe like Cozumel, I guess.
You won't get sunburned by being out there for a long time.
I don't get sunburned, but
I guess
you said Cozumel? You should go on a cruise to Cozumel. That's perfect.
This actually might be an actual thing.
No, like an actual, like low-key, like
legit,
high-key, like an actual thing.
Everything.
And it's beautiful. Once you pay for everything, it's like...
We were supposed to go for a honeymoon.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
That's what we did.
That was my first cruise.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So the cruise, I've kind of been like on the fence about going on a cruise because.
But it was legit.
No, legit. We're going again for Christmas.
Oh wow!
Yeah. Anything. There's too much to do. Like you can't do everything.
It's like a hotel, water park,
resort,
on a cruise, resort, restaurants.
And then you stop at Cozumel, and then you
so when are we going?
Cozumel.
Right. Like no, for real.
No, really.
When are we going? Like December? Okay. Yeah.
We're literally planning on this video.
Marriage life.
No, seriously, no, for real. Like, let's do it. Like.
Okay, then this is
our
gonna be a real
next video
thing.
will be from Cozumel.
Yeah, you'll see some footage for you. Just stay tuned. But cool, yeah.
What about y'all?
Wow, I never actually like thought about this question. Like, where would I go? Maybe like what is it called? Maldives, like the
Maldives.
kind of Maldives.
Yeah.
That will be really nice. I see a lot of people take pictures there, and it looks really nice and like very pretty. So maybe there. Yeah, maybe there. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? It's not intentional. I was going to say the Maldives. I'm an adventurous person.
There you go.
So like,
Yeah.
to be on an island and do jet skis or maybe do a safari or something somewhere like that, but also have that opportunity, you know, just to relax on the beach, have people cater to you, man. That's an awesome experience.
Yes.
So I would say somewhere like the Maldives or like Bora Bora, you know, somewhere like that.
I think that's crazy that he said that, because I feel like he's more adventurous, but I'm more like spontaneous, or is it reversed? No.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
So like, I feel like us going there, like he would push me to do something that I wouldn't do. Like I would be like terrified to do jet skis, but like he would be like, let's do it. You know what I mean? And then that would get me out of my comfort
And then you
zone.
actually do it.
And then I actually do it and like check. Like, you know, we went swimming with the dolphins. Check. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
it was fun. Yeah.
So, by the way, do this with your wife. Like, just talk about your dream vacation, and then don't. I get into the habit of just being a pessimist when it comes to any, like, you know, because I think about the money, how are we gonna do this? What are we gonna do this? But have this dream talk of what y'all want to do, and maybe even talk and work together on how y'all can actually do that.
But
Because
don't
y'all actually went and did it. And
So
that means
that's
y'all-
like my mindset. I'm like, let's just do it. You know what I mean?
y'all had to work together, figure out how to do it, and you did it.
Right.
And so don't get stuck in the. Of course, be wise and all that stuff. Don't just go crazy, but I mean, figure it out.
Yeah,
Like,
make it a goal. Make it a goal, especially when it comes to travel. You can go anywhere as long as you plan for it.
Yeah.
So whatever your financial situation is, work situation, plan for it, because it'll create valuable memories for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Especially before you have kids.
Yes.
Or you have
kids.
oh yes.
That is kind of that's kind of.
And if you already have kids, praying for you.
Yeah.
Praying for you.
Bring them too. Just kidding. Bring them with you.
Babysitter.
That's awesome. All right, so
It's my turn. All right. Okay, this is a good one. How have you celebrated anniversaries, and how do you plan to celebrate anniversaries? So,
yeah.
what are your plans?
My gift that I've already told him is that I would like to have a child. Just kidding.
There you go.
Oh,
But
There you
it's like
go.
not there yet.
Yeah.
But it's fine. We were like, but now like,
this coming anniversary?
yeah.
Oh,
But
okay,
I was like,
hold on. Everyone, leave comments down below if you think that will happen. Or
Like
you
for a baby? Yeah.
But as
that's
far as like
awesome,
what
though.
we're actually going to do, I actually don't know yet. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of time between now and then.
Yes, yeah.
So
Yeah, but at the same time is moving by
is.
so fast.
Yeah.
So fast.
Always.
so
I
I'm unsure.
can honestly though, I can definitely see us traveling, because it'll be spring break once again. So you'll be off.
That's good timing.
I'll have time accumulated. I can take off, so I can definitely see us traveling, getting away. You know, just to a place where we can just focus on each other. You know, even if it's just like a staycation here in Dallas or
Yes.
somewhere. You know, just having the opportunity to get away and not reconnect, but you know, just focus on our connection.
distractions.
You know, without the distractions of work or any outside influences.
Yes.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
What about y'all?
Well, for our anniversary, it's the same month of her birthday, so it's a heavy month. It's a heavy month
maybe.
of the bag is a little bit smaller that month afterwards. No, it's so we've already had 2 anniversaries.
Yeah, if your birthday's in May. I'm sorry.
Your birthday's in May too?
No, if it's in May.
Oh.
Like, you're not getting any presents from us.
Yeah, because by that time,
Or the
it's like,
negatives.
man.
Or the negatives. Anyways.
But we've already had 2 anniversaries. Let me be real, I don't remember what exactly we did. I don't exactly remember
I'll
the things
answer
we
this.
did. As you can see, sometimes guys,
Yeah.
I don't know.
We went to Rangers games.
That's right. That's okay. Thank you.
Rangers
Thank you.
games. So that
That's a
was
tradition.
That was kind of. I mean, it didn't have to be a tradition.
I wanted
We can
that's
move
cool.
up from there, but that was what we kind of spontaneously did the past 2 anniversaries. I'm not saying Jaden is bad at planning. I'm not saying he's good at planning. It's just we got to work together on that, and it's just something that, you know, weaknesses and strengths come together in
that's right.
marriage, and
That's something I'll get better at.
yes,
I will.
yes.
For sure.
I think that's It's interesting you say that because she's definitely a planner. Like she's like, we could do this, but I think it works out well because then I'm like, okay, within the span of this, we could try to do this, this, and that. You know, so
he's more of like a get up, like type A, type B, like to the fullest. Like, well, he said he's a combination.
Yeah, I took a test, and if y'all don't know the type A versus type B, type A is more. There's stressors, planners. Type B is more laid back, go with the flow. I'm right there in the middle. It's called B+.
Okay.
I'm a B+. Okay.
I feel like it depends on the situation, who I'm with. If I'm with my family, I want to be structured. If I'm just with friends and we're just going with the flow, I'll go with the flow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It works like that for me too. Yeah. Like if I'm with a strong personality and they're a leader, I'm comfortable letting them take the lead. I'll add value.
Yes.
But if I'm around people who are maybe more laid back, then I tend to be that person.
Yes. Right. Yes.
So
yeah, for sure. That's awesome.
But yeah, off topic.
Yeah. what were you saying about the personalities? What were you going to tie into that?
Oh yeah, she's type A, and so my type B personality tends to come out more. Yeah. And so it kind of meshes well when it comes to us planning our vacays or things to do.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
This helps.
So we go to Ranger games. That's kind of a cool thing, or at least it's always feasible. Like if we're in a tough spot, we can. It's not too much of an expense to go out there and do that, and it's always fun. It's always a different game because sometimes, right now they're kind of struggling, but the Rangers are. But eventually, maybe they'll be really good, and we'll go.
Yeah. This last game, it was 80s to where it's hot if you're sitting there, but if you're like right in the sun, it's hot. But if you're in the shade, it feels good. And I had jeans on, and they were ripped right on my knees, and we were sitting right in the sun, like the shadow as the sun was maybe got to like cooking. Right here, the whole never touched us, so we were in the sun, so my knees actually got sunburned. It looked so funny, like my legs were white as heck and my knees were just tan. It was just so funny.
And now I know where not to sit.
Yes. Or if we go, I want it to be with the roof is closed. So maybe then we had July anniversary. And we do kind of have 2 anniversaries because of COVID. We had.
So y'all do one on reception and one on the wedding.
Yeah. And I think like our big one that we focus more is our April one, because that's when we actually got married.
Right.
And then in July is when we had the reception, so we're the big poofy dress and all that. So that's kind of like happy anniversary to that, but in April is when we try to really give it attention.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Rising. Your turn.
Okay, here we go. Okay, how should you handle housework and other chores?
Oh man, this is maybe viewers out there. Y'all have your opinions. All have your views. And what's cool about this is that it anyone can run their house the way that they want to. Yeah. But as far as Christians and all that stuff, we always want to make sure that we are following biblical principles, but this is also an area that there's not necessarily in the Bible straight up how you should do the chores, who should do the laundry, who should do the dishes, but you should honor and respect each other when acting that out.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't just expect someone to do it all or this and that, and then also cast burdens and things on them. And so how do we do it currently?
So I hate doing the dishes. I get overstimulated and all that. So he's very good at doing that. And I try to do the rest. But what's helped is having a list that's not overwhelming. It's just vacuum one day, dust the next day. I did try one time to make this way crazy, totally detailed list as if the president was coming over to our house every day. It was ridiculous. And that was never got done a full week, I can guarantee you. So
it's overwhelming.
I think I try to not carry so much of the burden, because I feel like it's kind of expected of the wife to keep the house tidy and clean and cook every night and all that. And I just
and I don't try to, and me as the husband, I don't try to hold that over you, like say, hey, like you should be doing this, you should be doing this, and hopefully I'm doing a okay job about giving you grace in case you don't or something like that.
I apologize a lot, and he's like, for what? So he totally doesn't see the burden of it, I guess, that I see, that I try not to put myself down. I don't really know
And that's only because I guess you could say I don't have too many expectations as far as like that goes, as far as that, like as long as it's getting done. Now this is just for us. I mean, it may be different for y'all, but for us, there's not a lot of unmet expectations, which causes invisible conflict that ends up coming out at some other time in a big fight or something. And so that's helpful for us. It's kind of, as long as it gets done, we communicate and try to make sure. And it also helps if you have people come over. If you have people come over, usually the house will stay.
Right. It gets clean.
It gets clean, right.
That also helps us if you do that.
I can speak to
No, I was gonna say.
I
was gonna say. Okay. Go for it.
So, luckily for me, she likes to clean.
I do.
So she's very much a cleaner. I mean, as soon as we cook dinner, she's wiping the counters. Like, she's putting loading the dishwasher. So I think one dynamic that serves us best is that we just try to operate as a team. If if I see, the laundry piling up, I may take initiative on that. Let me go ahead and get the laundry. Or there's certain things that she doesn't like to do, like taking out the trash or maybe cleaning the shower, even though she does clean the showers too. But if she asks me like, hey, can you clean the shower? I just try to take that initiative and say, hey, let's do it. I'll hop up and do it immediately, just to show that, hey, I do appreciate what you do. And if you need me to do anything, I'm readily available.
Yeah.
And so
that's great.
The trash piling up, and she comes in there and tells me to take out the trash. I try to let me go ahead and get up instead of saying I'll get to it, or let me go ahead and get up immediately and take out the trash. Or she's like, babe, can you put this up? Let me go ahead and get up and put it up, straighten up. Babe, can you fold these clothes? Let me fold them. And so anytime, luckily she likes to clean, but if she reaches out to me, I try to be readily available and get it done immediately.
And I would like to add to that, because I felt like he's not giving himself enough grace, because typically when I'm doing stuff, he'll just jump in and help. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's how we operate as a team too, because normally if I'm cleaning, he'll start cleaning something else that I made. So that takes off the load off of both of us. So he'll be folding clothes or doing laundry, and I'll be cleaning the kitchen. So it's we're always working together, and then we just get things done faster. You know what I mean?
That is always helpful.
You know what I mean? So yesterday he was cleaning the toilet, and I was cleaning the counter, and we're just talking about our day. You know what I mean? So it's very productive, and we're working together, and we're getting things done. But we're also still bonding together. You know what I mean? Yeah,
that's cool. Awesome. And I'll tell you, that's very efficient.
Oh yeah,
very efficient, and it's. I love how you said y'all actually talk about your day, because sometimes people, couples, don't have time to have those conversations. Let's just say, depending on your schedule. And so if you can incorporate other, that relational bond, with the obligations of what you need to do on the day to day, that's really cool. I like that. We can do that. Which we do that. Or if you don't want to talk, you just want to focus and just do it, hey, that's cool. But make sure y'all both know that.
Yeah, kind of going back to control, I definitely have that with he'll be vacuuming, and I'm like, just let me do it. Just let me do it.
Let me just say, I don't do things the best way sometimes. So.
Well, that was definitely something I learned about him with sweeping. He would grab the broom backwards.
I had some style with it. That's what it was.
Yeah, we both worked in a restaurant. I guess you just learned the best, just get it done. Best way to do it. Yeah. So when it was different from me, I was like,
what are you doing?
But ultimately, I got the job done. So I guess that's something. I guess a piece of advice: if the job's getting done, and it's not how you want to do it, just look the other way. Just go focus on something else. Yeah. As long as the job's getting done.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that can cause some conflict though, just trying to maintain the house or maintain the apartment or whatever. Unnecessary conflict, I should say, for sure.
There really shouldn't be so much weight on that. Obviously you don't want to live in a pigsty. But don't take it on each other. There's no reason. Yeah. Y'all are a team.
So it's y'all versus the problem. The floor is dirty. Just clean it.
Don't point fingers on who should have
somebody
done it.
clean it. Yeah. If it's bothering you that much, that's why I try to keep in mind. If it's bothering me, I'll just do it. I'm just thinking about her. She does so much, so it's I can do this.
That's awesome.
What is that sound?
About to wake me up from my nap. Come on.
They like the world. Nah, that ain't my forte. I love my homies, we married up. Gotta change the divorce rate. Yeah, Jesus cleared all my wrongs. I don't have a court date. Yeah, ask me what I'm doing.
What is this?
That was the Lord say. Yeah, I just follow the lead. I just point a red beam at these demons. They thieving my funk sway. I'm clearing my section, make room for my blessing. Can't have no distractions in my way. When I need protection, I call for direction. I hit knees and dial up Yahweh. I got Elohim, is leading the team. I can't do it Yahweh. I gotta stay focused and work on my vision. My God got me doing a new thing. Touching spirits, I'm changing your mood rings. When the devil's attacking like Hussein. I can't give him my...
Alrighty. All right,
next question.
TK's turn. Here we go.
It's only a couple questions. All right. What do you want to achieve as a couple?
We can go first. I think our first achievement is paying off our debt.
Yeah.
That's definitely a whirlpool that we got caught in.
Just
kind of started with our college, and our
then
wedding.
and
And
then
just not having good spending habits. It just happens, and it does. In the moment, you're like, "Oh, I'll pay it off later," but then later comes, and it's kind of a big stressor. And then you try to plan for the future, and you have to base your planning around that. And you know, like when we start talking about having kids, which won't be for a few years, so stop asking.
Unless, but God works in mysterious ways, right?
So,
May have some growing to do, but we'll see.
Anyways, it's kind of like, well, we really don't want to have kids while we're still paying off our credit card, and we're told, you'll never be financially ready for children, which I get it, but we would rather be more in a responsible mindset, than
that's
just kind of winging it. So, like we recognize that. So that's, I think, is our first and foremost biggest achievement for us is to pay off our debt and to not get back into it immediately.
Okay.
That's
good.
Yeah, for sure. And then also just grow old and be that couple that
just
people admire,
jokes,
maybe
cracks jokes with the youngsters.
Another thing is, so like we talked about, TK, is that the divorce rate is so high even in the Christian community. A big achievement would be for us to stay together for our whole lives, be that couple that's married 40, 50, 60 years. Assuming that we're the Lord doesn't take us or whatever, but
hit him over the head.
Yeah, but also what was I going with that?
I'm not sure.
Being together. Being kind of the spiritual leaders of our family. So like you can always think of that the grandparents, and then they had kids, and then they all have their families, but then there's that it's almost like a pyramid.
Yeah.
And they're like they're the ones at the family gatherings. It's like, oh yeah, it's grandma and grandpa, they're coming in, and they're just sitting there and they look and they see all their family around. I'm hoping that we can look and say, man, these are a bunch of believers that we trust and know that are going to impact the world, and as for me and my household, we're going to serve the Lord, right? There's the scripture behind. So I think that's a cool thing to look towards as an achievement, say.
For sure.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I can take this. So I think one thing that we talk about here in and here out is just getting to a point of like financial freedom.
I wasn't gonna say that.
He's gonna say that.
Oh, there you go. Same mind.
Getting to a point of financial freedom, because like you said, when it comes to finances, that can be such a huge stressor. And getting to that point where we can be financially free, where we won't have to depend on a job, it's deeper than just being wealthy or being rich. It's not about that. But you get to have guilt-free time together. Yeah. And so you won't be tied to a particular career, or we still plan to stay active. Of course, we still plan to pursue the music and the ministry. She has ministries that she plans to pursue. I have ministries that I plan to pursue, and together we have a ministry we plan to pursue. But just getting to that point to where we can have freedom of time to spend with each other, invest in each other, and also invest in our ministries without having to worry about an income, or I got to be back at my job by this, or I only have this many days to take off. Or so I think that's a huge goal for us. Also, that's a little more long term, but short term, I would say a goal for us is take the next step up. And even though we like this apartment, we want to move into a house, get established, have something of our own that that we own, and eventually, have some children.
Some children.
A few years from now.
I have a baby list. It's fine. Yeah. But like, just to add on to that, as far as like the financial stability and everything, I see it from like, it gives you not only like more like freedom, but just like more opportunities. Like, one of my spiritual gifts is I love to give, and so like it just gives you more opportunities to do that. And I know that sounds very cliche, but like really that's like one of my spiritual gifts is I really do like love to like
very good at giving.
Yeah, I love to give to people. I'm always thinking about how can I help the next person. You know what I mean? Not because I just want to get back, but because like genuinely like people need help. You know what I mean? So like that's just like also another reason why we want to develop like this financial stability. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's always been an aspiration of mine, to be in position to be able to bless others.
Absolutely.
And so I think we share that in common.
Yeah.
I remember even as a young kid, because that's my father's aspiration as well. He's always said the exact same thing. I want to be in a position to bless others. So that's one thing. Me and her both have that in common. We've cultivated that over time. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then when it happens, or if it doesn't happen, we'll update you on that in about 30, 40, 10, I don't know, years. And we'll see how that goes. Yeah, or 5, yeah. I like it. Sweet.
For it.
All right. What's
Important.
what is important?
Okay, I
wasn't
wasn't grammatically correct on that.
And I can't read, so.
I can't read. Okay.
What's an important thing for husbands or wives to know? What's important for husbands and wives to know? Is that kind of a general thing, or how do you say?
I think I'm taking that question as what's important. What is an important thing for the husband or wife to know about, like?
Oh, about your spouse and each other.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The alphabet. I'm just kidding.
Right.
I'm sorry. I think I kind of took that as it's important to know about your spouse, like what their love language is, and kind of like what we talked about, like giving and words of affirmation, and just how you can best serve them, knowing that knowledge.
Yeah, because I think what that will prevent, if you understand your spouse and invest in them and understand, like the love languages. So there's 5 love languages. I think Gary Chapman is the book. Have y'all read that?
I have not read it. I know, I'm aware.
We have it, and I need to read it.
Yeah, we haven't read it.
But you've probably heard the specific ones. But what I think of is that if you don't know your spouse's love language, and I've fallen into this too, is you yourself can spend so much effort, so much of your will and all that stuff to let them know that you love them. But if they don't, but if it's not in a way that they best receive it, I mean, it's kind of
like if mine is words of affirmation and his is gift giving, and he keeps giving me these gifts.
Yeah, because that's what I think. That's what I think expressing my love is to her.
Yeah, instead of I don't know, saying thank you or whatever falls under words of affirmation.
Then that hurts me.
Yeah, because then he feels unappreciated.
Right, and then there's that unnecessary thing that you just need to know your spouse a little bit better.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Yeah, but what would y'all say?
I would actually, I would say the same thing. I think knowing your partner's love language adds tremendous value to the marriage, because not only do you know how to serve them best and show them love best, her love language is words of affirmation. So I can be intentional with my words and speaking life into her, and I know that she's receiving that love, but also recognizing when she's returning love in a way that's natural to her, even if it's not my natural love language or my top love language. I can see gestures or actions that she may do, and I can say, I can recognize, like, oh man, she's showing love. Like, she's showing love to me right now. And so it works both ways. You know how to serve your partner better, and you know how to receive your partner better, because some things may just come more naturally to your partner, and if you're not aware of that, those efforts can go to waste.
Yeah, that's good, man. Really good.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, maybe let me throw this in there. I think also know your spouse in the sense of where they've come from and how that may affect them in the future, or currently or in the future. As in, for instance, knowing where they're broken or knowing where things may, their insecurities, maybe your mother and father-in-law, respect and honor them, but understand kind of how they were raised, what they've gone through, things like that. Because you may be poking some scars or some wounds that you don't realize you're poking, or say things that you don't realize that actually hurts them. Like, it could just be a word or phrase. And so for us, we have similar, not stories and backgrounds, but we have same, how would you describe it?
We both come from broken homes, I would say. I mean,
Yeah.
fully broken or dysfunctional.
Right.
In the nicest way possible.
Yeah, everyone, because we're all sinful, we're all
Yes.
broken. Every household is broken in some sense. Even the richest, nicest people that have the best families, something's off. There's always something off.
Yeah.
I don't think we came from spiritually strong families. And so we both kind of...
we understood that need. Like, we both need that. And we see that causes success, and that's the way it was designed. And then we also understand just our similar insecurities, I guess you could say, or maybe things. So talking about that, having those long hour, sitting in the car for an hour after you went on a date or something, or things like that, and just out of nowhere talks, and understanding, hey, we agree on this, and man, I'm sorry when I do that to you. I'm sorry when I say those things to you. I'm sorry when I act like, how I was raised, when I act like things,
Yeah. Piggybacking off of what you're saying is also know the intention of your spouse. If you know they're not intentionally trying to bring up that insecurity or poke that scar, don't get defensive about it, but just be able to talk to them like, hey, by the way, this bothers me, and be able to be open and honest without it being this, like, you're holding it in and you think they're attacking you, and that's malicious, that's not.
I love that you said that. And I know I've said it probably about 3-4 times already, but it's just keeping in mind that it's never you versus them. It is y'all versus the problem. So if something's bothering you, to demonize your partner wouldn't be Christ-like, but instead separating your partner from the issue and saying, hey, it bothers me when this is brought up. How can we work on this? How can we get better about communicating this?
That's big. That's big. And you can avoid a lot of things just by doing the work to do that, for sure. Alrighty, what are we left with?
Last question. You got it.
Okay, let's see. What was your first impression of your spouse?
Ladies, we kind of want to hear what y'all thought, because we think we're studs. We are studs.
Oh God! Oh my
We
gosh.
hold the buildings up. We're studs.
My first impression. Okay, so it's kind of funny because we met in college at Black Student Union, and so our stories are like similar but different, I guess. So like, obviously, we were both officers at the time. And so, I mean, he was a really cool guy, but like how I connected,
cool.
you know what I mean? Like how I connected with him initially wasn't like, oh my gosh, I think he's gonna be the one, you know what I mean? Like how we are now. It took like a few years, later before we like rekindled and we reconnected, you know what I mean? So it was a little bit different. Like I wasn't like, oh, I think he might be the one, because coming into college, coming into a new setting, I was very like naive and like trying to like find my way, you know what I mean? But then God brought us back, you know what I mean? So there was something, right? There was a spark. So that was like my first experience impression. I mean, he was a cool dude, but it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna marry this. You know what I mean? Initially.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But what was your first impression of your spouse?
My first impression was, I'm going to marry this.
Now for him, it was.
He could hear the bells, the wedding bells.
Nah, it was actually, it wasn't like I'm going to marry this person, but when she walked in and I seen her for the first time, I don't know what it was, but I instantly knew that there was something different about her. And then as we sat in the meeting and the meeting went on, she was engaging, making comments, taking initiative, showing leadership qualities qualities of a strong woman, and so I latched on. I love that. I think right after the meeting, I went up and introduced myself, and I asked for your Snapchat. Yeah, we should stay in contact. And then I actually shot my shot later on, but she wasn't looking for a relationship at that time. So
I got stiff-armed.
So I got shot down. You know, I missed my shot. I said, hey, you know.
No, she missed her shot.
Yes.
You missed out on me.
Yes, that's exactly really. That's what it was.
Yeah, so
that's great.
But hey, you know, shoot or shoot. So, you know, hey, I swung back around and shot again,
rebound,
and it was the right moment. And it was really natural from there.
Yeah,
really natural. Really easy.
But you know, like sometimes you're like in different seasons. Like that season, I wasn't probably ready to be in a relationship, which I wasn't. Like, you know, in that season. So like the fact that a few years later, you know, X years later, it was like we were both like praying for that person that we were looking for, right? We were praying on it, and then we was like when we connected, it was like, wow, I've been like waiting for you, I've been looking for you. And then we like dived into deep conversations, and it was like, wow, like God is like
very, very easy. Very
easy.
Supernatural.
Like,
like you say exactly what I'm saying, kind of thing. The next thing I say is exactly.
No,
what you're saying.
it is like, not even like trying to be
gosh.
funny, but like no, like we were talking, we were like texting. I don't know if we were texting or calling or something like that. And I was like. He was like, what kind of music do you like, or something like that? And I was like, I like Christian rap. And he's like, I made Christian rap. And I was like, no way. You know what I mean? Like that. It was like so funny. But anyway.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
But what about you guys?
Well,
what did you think?
he was a skater boy.
I had the Bieber hair.
He did.
I don't have it now, but
He did. He had the Bieber hair. He had the, you know,
I remember that, Jaden.
the swoosh and big old glasses, and he was. My first impression was that you were taller than I thought you were going to be.
Yeah, and my photos, I think I just appear shorter.
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
but like physically, like appearance wise, it checked off all my boxes. You know, tall, dark hair, blue eyes. Woo, okay, you know, that's all the worldly things. But it wasn't until that night, and I don't know if you told this in part one.
Yeah. I did, yeah.
There was a storm, and he prayed, and I was like, oh, that's a godly man. That's a godly man I want to be with forever. So, I don't know, it was really, like, certain for me from the beginning. I never questioned or doubted for a second that he wasn't. And I was 17. How naive and young is that? But to be so sure at that age, I was like, yeah, he's the one. I like him. He dealt with my awkwardness and all my teenage rages, and you know, he dealt with me. Put up with
seasons.
me.
Seasons.
Yes,
Different
he
seasons.
unfortunately saw all of them.
Yeah.
So he was there for me when I needed him most, and
Yeah.
I just
The same for you to me, though. You were there for me too, because I was a goofball.
Yeah. So I knew from the beginning. I don't think you did.
I know. No, I'm just kidding. No, I did. Say what? No, I did. I was a goofball. Like, and that's part of. She had to know my past as well, and part of my past was being a playa, and that's
Not with the
a playa.
With two ways.
No, but just a knucklehead, and so I kind of let you know that early on, but still you knew though.
I did
because I was growing, and that's when my faith was getting I was growing in my faith, because I was still kind of a new believer in a sense, and so my impression of you, I knew I wanted to be in a relationship, and that's kind of what I talked about in part one. Go check that out. Part one is that I was wanting to get in a serious relationship, and I mean, God handed me a beautiful woman, and I just noticed her smile, this smile right here. That's exact smile. Walking through the door, seeing her, and just, she was the, like I said, perfect height to where, you know, she wasn't super short and stuff, and it was just perfect. And what I loved is that she's the funniest person I know, and that's the first impression I got, was that because we played Uno and just little games like that, and she was just such a light in the room, and I loved it. I clinged to it, and I definitely cling to it. And no, just kidding. Like I said, I'm a goofball, and so No, I knew I could always be around you, and that's why, because we went on a date. It was our third time being together, but we went to Chipotle and we were there for hours. We were there for hours just talking.
3 hours.
And so my first impression was, man, we can actually spend time together and connect.
There's never an awkward moment. Like, we were like,
it wasn't awkward.
We gotta go.
Right,
Like,
and that can turn a lot of people away, just those awkward, whatever. But for us, I mean, it fit. And so, I mean, we ran with it and we stuck together, and it was really open about our past and all that stuff. We could connect, and it was cool.
yeah, that's good.
First impression.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I think our first time we, like, the very, very first time we met, I think that was probably the only awkward moment. But all it took was us to share one laugh together.
Yeah, there you go.
Literally after that, every other time we were together, it was very easy.
Perfect.
So
that's awesome.
Natural.
very natural.
Cool.
All right, guys. So we reached one of the last parts of our video, and I remember when it was just me and Jaden doing the video. At the end, we kind of gave some advice. As far as men approaching marriage or men that might be fresh into marriage. So we want to take this opportunity while our queens are in the building and ask them if they have any advice to any women who are looking to be married, going into marriage, or currently in marriage right now. So take it away.
So my advice would be, this is something that I had in my season of waiting, I thought about this question, and so that was like, what is something that isn't physical, like that you're looking for in a spouse? And so that was like really important to me, because I feel like sometimes when you're like going into dating or going into a marriage, or you're looking for like your spouse or your partner, sometimes you tend to focus on like the external, and so God's like, what are you like, what's internal, like looking at the heart. And so that's something like that I had to dissect, like what is something that I'm looking for, like how can they add value to me, like, that's sustainable, that's going to actually last. Because sometimes like the external can only last for so long, but if their character and their personality is not suitable or doesn't match, then it's not going to work. So I was like, what is something that I can carry, that I can hold on to? And so like I started, I did that question for myself, and then I started asking my friends that question as well, like what do you like about the person that isn't physical? And they really had to think about it, because the first response was like, oh well, I like this about them. I'm like, okay, well what else? And they're like, oh, I like this about them. I'm like, okay, well what about their character? And they really struggled to answer that question. And it's like, okay, well, do you think this is going to be a relationship that lasts? And the answer is like always no, or I don't know, because they're not thinking about those kind of things, you know what I mean? So that would be probably my advice that I would give to y'all if you're looking.
Wow.
So.
That's really good. That's
good.
I think my advice is don't let the world influence your decisions like it wants to.
Right.
Right now, especially in 2022, we're in this time in history where, girl power and girl strength, and girls are right. Girls, like women are dominant. And in a Christian marriage, that's not the case. Like you have to learn to be submissive and respect the man, your husband. So I definitely think not letting the world influence you as far as who you choose and your decisions that you make in that relationship. I think that's really important.
That is big, because that sounds countercultural.
Stick to the script.
Cultural.
Ain't that weird?
I love it. We're trademarked.
Ain't that weird? Ain't that the purpose, the goal?
Yes.
No, that's great, ladies. That's some great advice. This video, we really, really hope that it's valuable to you. We literally, I think we're past the 1 hour mark. We'll check when we see when we upload it. But this is just a conversation that is meant to, look at what the culture's doing. Let's counter that. Let's go the way towards Christ. And that's the whole purpose of this channel, our mission, and all that stuff, this ministry. And so we are so blessed to have amazing, godly women in our lives. And we want to be transparent about that and show y'all, hey, we're walking through this season of life. You may hear our music, see our videos, but man, this is our first ministry, like you said. It's the first ministry. And so to get you ladies on is so cool. Thank y'all for being on this.
Yeah, very cool. Hope you find a lot of value in this video. And it's been a pleasure doing this. Look out for more content coming soon. We have a song circulating right now. It's hitting the charts. If you ain't seen it, it's called Whateva. And please check that out. It's a banger. And also, we can reveal the secret. We got more music coming. So we will be dropping more singles soon, along with the album we are working on.
Yeah,
so
we really are.
Yes.
And we're coming consistently with the videos, guys. So always be on the lookout. But yeah, great video.
Yeah.
Any last words, guys?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And share.
Like and subscribe. Share.
And comment.
And
Yes, comment. Do all the things.
And by the way, go subscribe to TK and Kennedy's YouTube channel. So, hey, go to our channel, which you are on it right now, but click on our channel, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see featured channels, and you'll see there Mr. and Mrs. Smith, their channel. And they post, I love their videos. It's real life. They're showing you their real life, what they're doing, what they're up to, big milestones, this and that. So go subscribe to that channel, okay? Yes. When you do that, and also subscribe to this channel.
Yes. Do both.
Right, because what that does is it actually tells YouTube, hey, you like our stuff, which means, hey, show the world, put it in front of other people, so that they can see this. And
this is stuff people need to see.
Yes,
yeah.
So subscribe is not just about us. I feel like it's doing the world a service as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
You got to get it to the right audience.
Yeah, and it's a way for you to contribute to and be a part of the community, the counterculture community, and be a part of the family, and just show that you love, support, and we appreciate y'all so much for this. And especially if you got to this point of the video, you stuck with us through the whole thing.
You're still watching this.
If you're still watching this, we could be doing something silly or whatever. But
you like us a little bit.
Yeah, but y'all are awesome. Hey, stay tuned for more content, like you said. Go watch part 1, okay? This part is good on its own, but go watch part 1 as well. Go check out our new song, and just keep showing love. We appreciate y'all. Alrighty. And we're going to close out with some... Peace.
Just like the world. Nah, that ain't my forte. All of my homies get married up. Gotta change the divorce rate. Yeah. Jesus cleared all my wrongs. I don't have a court date. Yeah. Ask me what I'm doing. Whatever the Lord say.